Hello everyone, this is Anirvan and today I'll be talking about electrostatics. So when you look closely at the word electrostatics, what does it mean? It comprises of two words, the electro and statics. Electro means the charge or the charges and statics means anything which is at rest. So the combination of the words gives interaction of the charges which are at rest. So what are these electric charges? Electric charges are basically the intrinsic property of protons and electrons, or just like the masses. So let us explain the fundamentals of electrostatic with a live example. I'll take this comb. This is an object. I'll take this comb. I'll rub against my hair. When I'm rubbing against my hair, this will develop positive charge because it will be losing electrons, and my hair will be gaining negative charge. So I'll put this close to the bits of the paper. Let's look closely and see what happens. You can see the tiny bits of paper gets attracted to the bristles of the comb. So this is an example of electrostatic induction. When a positively charged comb was brought closer to these bits of paper, a negative charge was developed on the inner surface of the bits of the paper. That's why an attraction force was developed between the comb and the bits of the paper. Now, as because the gravitational pull between the tips of the paper and the earth is less compared to the force of attraction between the comb and the bits of paper, so it has resulted into the force of attraction between these two items. Now let us look closely into the structure of an atom to better understand the theory of electrostatics. So let us look into the structure of an atom so that we can understand the development of charges. So what is an atom basically looks like? It has a nucleus. A nucleus consists of protons as well as the neutrons, and it is surrounded by a cloud of electrons which are revolving around the nucleus. These are basically the electrons. These are the electrons which are revolving around the nucleus. A neutrons has got no charges, so we write it as 0. The protons are having a positive charge, and the charge of an electron is negative. So if you consider an atom is considered to be a stable as well as it is considered to be electrically neutral. What does this neutral means? The number of protons is equal to the number of electrons. And what is the charge of an electron? The charge of an electron, E, is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. So let us solve a problem. So how many electrons are there in 10 coulomb negative charge? So we know the total number of negative charge that is given by Q is 10 coulomb. And you know electrons gives the negative charge. So Q can be written as N into E, or N is equal to Q by E, where Q is 10 coulomb and E is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, which is equal to 6.25 into 10 to the power 19. So this number of electrons gives a total amount of 10 coulomb of negative charge. Types of charges. As I have already said, there are two types of charges, the positive and the negative. The protons, which carries the positive charge, negative. The negative charge is carried by the electrons. This is the positive, this is the negative charge. Now, when can I call an atom to be positively charged? This is an atom, as I've already said, and this is the electrons. This, when it accepts electrons in the outer shell of the orbit, the number of electrons becomes more than the number of protons. So the net amount of charge that is there within an atom, it becomes more. So it develops a negative charge. So the atom is said to be negatively charged. For example, if an atom loses electrons, then the number of protons becomes more than the number of electrons. So the net charge of an atom becomes positive and is said to be a positively charged atom. Now I am taking two bodies. One is having a positive charge, the other is having a negative charge. When these two bodies are kept close to one another, they tend to attract each other. And when I take two bodies of the same charge, they tend to repel each other. So we can say unlike charges attract each other, and like charges, as we have seen in this case, they tend to repel each other. This is what is the repel. So there is a force of repulsion between two like charges. Now this force of repulsion can be given by a law called the Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law. So the magnitude or the force of attraction or the force of repulsion can be given by Coulomb's. Now the charges, conservation of charges. So charges can never be created, they never be destroyed. Only there is a movement of electrons from one body to the other body, from one atom to the other atom. This is basically the conservation of charges, and this is quantized. So there are basically three methods of charging. The first one, by rubbing. As I have already shown, when I was combing my hair, then my hair developed a negative charge and the comb developed a positive charge. It is just the flow of electrons from one body to the other body. This is called basically the frictional electricity. Frictional electricity. Now there is a question, which body will develop a positive charge and which body will develop a negative charge? It depends on the electron affinity. Now what is an electron affinity? Electron affinity is a tendency of an atom to accept electrons. Tendency to accept electrons. The body which is having more of a tendency, more of an electrical affinity, will be accepting more electrons. So when a body is rubbed one against the other, the body which is having more of electron affinity have the higher tendency of accepting electrons, and it will develop a negative charge. So the electron affinity determines whether a body will be positively charged or a negatively charged. Next, charging a body by contact. Contact is nothing. Keeping a charged body in touch or in close proximity or in touch with another body. For example, if you take an ebonite rod rubbed in silk or muslin cloth, it develops a negative charge. It brought close to that body, the electrons, excess electrons, what we call the free electrons, moves to this body and it develops a negative charge because it will be having few of the excess electrons which has been transferred from the ebonite rod to this body. So it develops a negative charge. So this is charging by contact. Now we'll come to the induction, where the earlier example I have shown how the tips of paper have been attracted to the comb. Let's give another example. I'll take the same ebonite rod which is negatively charged and we'll bring it closer to a body. This is the insulation stand. So due to the method of induction, it will develop a positive charge and this will develop a negative charge because the electrons which are present there will repel the electrons on the inner surface, and these electrons will move to the other side of the body, and this will develop a positive charge. Now when you earth it, this entire charge goes to the earth. If simultaneously this humanoid rod is moved and this has been earth and the earth has been moved, we'll get an entire positive charge. So this method of developing a charge by the process of induction, a positive charge or a negative charge, whatever it is, but the method of induction is called induction charging by the method of induction. Thank you, take care, and bye-bye.